At Orlando International Airport, my family took a vote on whether to leave my 8-year-old daughter behind. They did it right in front of her. 18 people raised their hands. Maya stood there, backpack on, boarding pass clutched in her small fist, watching her grandmother count. I was 3 hours away, stuck in a conference room, when my phone buzzed with a photo. Maya. Alone. At gate B47. The caption read, "Sorry, we voted. Majority rules." I did not scream. I did not call them crying. I pulled up my banking app and started making transfers. Within 6 minutes, I had locked them out of 3 accounts. Within 20 minutes, I had an attorney on retainer. Within 2 hours, they were calling me from first class, 30,000 feet up, voices tight with panic. It was supposed to be a family trip. My cousin Derek was getting married in Miami, and my parents had been talking about it for months. Big celebration. Beach resort. Open bar. The whole extended family flying down together. Maya had been so excited. She had packed her suitcase 2 weeks early, reorganizing it every night, making sure she had her favorite sundress, the one with the little flowers my mom said made her look pretty. That morning, everything felt normal. I dropped Maya off at my parents' house at 5 in the morning. I had a client presentation I could not miss. Critical tax audit for a pharmaceutical company, 8 figures on the line. I had been working on it for 3 months. Maya knew. She understood. She hugged me tight at the door, whispered, "I'll take lots of pictures for you, Mom," and ran inside where my sister Rachel was already loading luggage into the van. My name is Jennifer. Jennifer Walsh. I have been a corporate tax accountant for 11 years. I am good at my job. I am good at numbers, at patterns, at seeing what does not add up. What I was not good at was seeing my own family for what they really were. That took my daughter standing alone in an airport terminal, surrounded by strangers, while 18 people who were supposed to love her flew away without looking back. I grew up as the responsible one. The one who got good grades, who went to state school on scholarships, who worked 2 jobs to pay for my CPA exam. Rachel was 3 years younger, the fun one, the pretty one, the one who married Brad right out of high school and had 2 kids by the time she was 23. Mom and Dad adored her. Still do. She never had to work. Brad made decent money in sales, and my parents helped with the rest. Down payment on their house. New car when hers broke down. Daycare costs. Christmas gifts. Summer camps. I never asked them for money. Not once. Even when I was 24, working 60-hour weeks and raising a newborn alone after Maya's father decided fatherhood was not for him. Even when I was so tired I would fall asleep standing up in the shower. Even when my bank account hit $17 and I had 4 days until payday. I figured it out. I always figured it out. But I helped them. God, I helped them so much. When Dad's business went under in 2019, I loaned him $38,000. Never saw a penny back. When Mom needed knee surgery and their insurance would not cover it, I paid the $9,000 gap. When Rachel and Brad were 3 months behind on their mortgage in 2021, I covered it. $12,000. They promised to pay me back in installments. I am still waiting. I was not bitter about it. Or I told myself I was not. Family helps family, right? That is what Mom always said. That is what I believed. What I did not realize was that in their version of family, help only flowed one direction. The signs were there. Small at first. Maya's 5th birthday party. 27 people showed up for my niece Sophia's party the month before. Bounce house, pony rides, face painting, the whole Pinterest dream. For Maya's party, 6 people came. Mom, Dad, Rachel, Brad, and their 2 kids. No cousins. No aunts or uncles. Everyone was just so busy, Mom said, not meeting my eyes. Maya cried herself to sleep that night. She was 5 years old and already learning she was not as important. When Sophia started kindergarten, Grandma and Grandpa showed up with balloons and a new tablet. When Maya started kindergarten, they sent a card with a $20 Target gift card inside. When Sophia lost her first tooth, Grandma posted 17 pictures on Facebook with captions about her precious angel. When Maya lost her first tooth, nobody even asked to see it. I told myself it was unconscious. They did not mean it. They just connected more with Rachel's kids because they saw them more often. Rachel lived 6 minutes away. I lived 43 minutes away, closer to my office. Distance explained it. That is what I kept saying. But Maya noticed. She was a smart kid. Observant. Sensitive. She never said anything directly, but I would catch her watching them with her cousins. The way Grandma would sweep Sophia into hugs but give Maya a quick pat on the head. The way Grandpa would spend an hour helping my nephew Dylan with his science project, but tell Maya he was too tired when she asked him to look at her drawings. She stopped asking them for things. Stopped showing them her report cards, even when she made honor roll. Stopped telling them about her gymnastics medals. She learned to be quiet around them, to take up less space, to wait for attention that never came. I should have said something. I should have confronted them. But I was raised not to make waves, not to be dramatic, not to accuse people of things they would just deny. And they would deny it. They were experts at gaslighting. You are too sensitive, Jenny. You are reading into things. You always make everything about you. So I stayed quiet. I kept showing up. I kept loaning money. I kept pretending everything was fine. The Miami trip was supposed to be different. Derek, my cousin on Dad's side, was getting married at some fancy resort on South Beach. The whole family was invited. Mom had been planning it like a military operation for 6 months. She booked a block of rooms, organized group transportation, made dinner reservations, created a shared Google Doc with the itinerary. She was in heaven. This was her element. Big family event, everyone together, tons of photos for Facebook. Maya was so excited. She had never been to Florida. Never seen the ocean. She talked about it every single day. Only 37 days until Miami, Mom. Only 22 days. Only 12 days. She made a countdown chain out of construction paper and hung it in her room. I was not going. I could not. The client presentation was locked in months ago, same weekend as the wedding. I tried to move it. I begged the client. They would not budge. The CEO was only available that Saturday. I had to be there or we would lose the account. I agonized over it. I felt like the worst mother in the world. But Mom assured me it was fine. We will take such good care of her, Jenny. Do not worry. She will have a blast. Rachel and I will watch her the whole time. Dad chimed in. She is going to have a great time with her cousins. Stop stressing. I wanted to believe them. I needed to believe them. So I did. I bought Maya a new swimsuit. Pink with little seahorses. She wore it around the house for a week, practicing her swimming strokes on the living room carpet. I bought her a disposable waterproof camera so she could take pictures underwater. I packed her bag with sunscreen, her favorite snacks, 3 new books, and the stuffed dolphin she had been sleeping with since she was 3. The morning I dropped her off, she was vibrating with excitement. She barely said goodbye. Just a quick hug and she was gone, running inside to show Sophia her new swimsuit. I stood on my parents' porch for a minute, watching through the window as Maya laughed, as she spun around to show off her dolphin backpack, as my mom smiled at her. I told myself everything was going to be okay. My presentation went well. 6 hours of PowerPoint slides, financial projections, risk assessments, questions from the CEO that I had anticipated and prepared for. By 2 in the afternoon, we had a signed contract. My boss took me out for drinks. Celebrated. Told me I was up for senior director. I should have been thrilled. I was numb. I kept checking my phone. No texts from Mom. No pictures. Nothing. I texted her at 3. How's the flight? Did Maya do okay? No response. I texted again at 4. Just checking in. Send pics when you land. Nothing. I called at 5. Straight to voicemail. I told myself they were busy. Getting settled in the hotel. Dealing with luggage. I would hear from them soon. At 6:14, my phone buzzed. A text from Rachel. Just a photo. No message. I opened it. Maya. Standing alone. In an airport terminal. Her little dolphin backpack on. Her boarding pass in her hand. Face white. Eyes red. Behind her, a gate counter. Fluorescent lights. Strangers walking past. The photo was slightly blurry, like it had been taken quickly. The angle was wrong. Not a careful shot. A careless one. Below the photo, a caption appeared. Sorry, we voted. Majority rules. I stared at it. I read it again. I did not understand. I called Rachel. It rang 4 times, then went to voicemail. I called Mom. Voicemail. I called Dad. Voicemail. I called Rachel again. This time it rang once and cut off. She rejected the call. My hands were shaking. I opened my texts, typed fast, fingers fumbling. What is happening? Where is Maya? Why is she alone? Send. Answer me. Send. Someone call me right now. Send. Nothing. Silence. Minutes passed. My heart was slamming against my ribs. I called Maya's phone. I had given her my old iPhone for emergencies. It rang and rang and rang. No answer. I called the airport. Orlando International. This is an emergency. My 8-year-old daughter is alone at your airport. She is at gate B47. Her name is Maya Walsh. She is 8 years old. She is alone. The woman on the other end was calm, professional. She said she would send someone. She asked for my information. I gave it. She said they would locate Maya and call me back. I sat in my car in the parking garage, engine off, hands clenched around my phone. I do not know how long I sat there. Time did not make sense. It felt like hours. It was probably 10 minutes. My phone rang. Unknown number. I answered before the first ring finished. Hello? Is this Jennifer Walsh? A woman's voice. Official. Yes. Yes. Is Maya okay? Your daughter is with me at gate B47. She is safe. She is not hurt. Can you tell me what is happening? She says her family left without her. The words did not compute. What do you mean, left without her? The flight to Miami departed 18 minutes ago. She says her family got on the plane and told her to wait. She has been waiting here for 40 minutes. She is very scared. 40 minutes. My 8-year-old had been standing in an airport, alone, for 40 minutes, while I sat in a conference room talking about tax codes. I am in Jacksonville, I said. My voice sounded wrong. Flat. Dead. I am 3 hours away. Can you stay with her? Please stay with her. Of course. Airport security is here. We are taking care of her. But I need to understand what happened. Did you authorize her to fly alone? She does not have the paperwork for an unaccompanied minor. No. She was supposed to be with my parents. My sister. My whole family. They took her to the airport. They were all flying together. And they left her? I do not know. I do not know what happened. Can I talk to her? Of course. Hold on. Muffled sounds. Then Maya's voice. Small. Shaking. Mom? I closed my eyes. Baby. Hi. I am here. I am coming to get you. I am leaving right now. They left, Mom. Her voice cracked. They voted. Grandma counted. 18 people raised their hands. They said there was not enough room. They said I had to wait here and you would pick me up. What? I could not process it. What do you mean they voted? At the gate. Before boarding. Grandma said there was a problem. She said the airline overbooked and someone had to stay behind. She said we needed to vote on who should stay. Everyone raised their hands. Grandma counted. She looked right at me and said, Maya, you will wait here. Your mom will come get you. Then they got on the plane. My brain could not hold this information. It was too insane. Too cruel. Too incomprehensible. Baby, listen to me. I am getting in the car right now. I will be there in 3 hours. I will drive as fast as I can. You stay with the nice lady, okay? You are safe. I am coming. Okay. She was crying now. Soft little hiccuping sobs. I thought you knew. I thought you told them to leave me. I made a sound I had never made before. Something between a sob and a growl. No, baby. I did not know. I would never. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I love you so much. I am coming right now. I hung up and sat there for 5 seconds. My whole body was shaking. My vision was blurred. I could not breathe right. I felt like I was having a heart attack. This could not be real. This could not be real. Then something shifted. The shaking stopped. My vision cleared. I felt cold, clear, focused. I opened my banking app. I had 3 accounts that my parents had access to. They were emergency accounts, set up years ago when I was younger, and they convinced me it was smart to have them as co-signers in case something happened to me. I had forgotten to remove them. I transferred every dollar out of those accounts into new ones they could not touch. $43,000 moved in 90 seconds. I had co-signed on their mortgage in 2020 when they refinanced. I called the bank. I told them I was revoking my co-signature and I wanted documentation that I was no longer liable for the loan. They said they would send the paperwork. I said send it now. They did. I had helped my sister buy her car in 2022. The title was in both our names. I called a towing company. I gave them the address. I told them to tow the vehicle and hold it. They said they needed authorization. I said I was a co-owner and I wanted the vehicle removed from that property immediately. They said they could do it tonight. I said do it in an hour. I called my attorney, Stephen Chen. I had used him for business contracts. He answered on the 3rd ring. Jennifer, hey, what is up? I need you to file something for me. Tonight. Tonight? What is going on? My family abandoned my 8-year-old daughter at an airport. They flew to Florida without her. I need a restraining order. I need custody documentation. I need a cease and desist letter sent to every single one of them. And I need you to start the process of seizing any assets I am legally entitled to. Silence. Then, Jesus Christ. Are you serious? Completely. Where are you? Parking garage in Jacksonville. I am about to drive to Orlando to pick up my daughter. Okay. Drive safe. Send me everything. Names, addresses, documentation, photos, whatever you have. I will start drafting tonight. Thank you. I hung up. My hands were steady now. I put the car in reverse and pulled out of the space. I drove to Orlando. I did not speed. I did not cry. I did not scream. I drove exactly the speed limit. I called Maya every 20 minutes to check on her. Airport security had taken her to a family room. They gave her crackers and juice. A nice woman named Patricia stayed with her the whole time. I arrived at Orlando International at 9:47 in the evening. I parked in the garage, walked through the terminal, found the security office. Patricia was there. So was Maya. She saw me and ran. She hit me like a cannonball, wrapped her arms around my waist, buried her face in my stomach. She was shaking. I held her. I did not let go. Patricia handed me paperwork. Incident report. They had documented everything. Maya's account of what happened. The fact that she had been left alone. The fact that an entire family had boarded a flight and left an 8-year-old child behind with no supervision, no plan, and no notification to airport staff. We spoke to the airline, Patricia said, voice careful. They confirmed that the flight was not overbooked. There was no issue with seating. All 19 passengers in your family's group boarded the plane. 19. 18 people voted to leave her. 19 total spots. They all fit. There was never a problem. They lied to her face. They made her think it was random, a vote, fair. But it was planned. It was intentional. They wanted to leave her behind. Thank you, I said. My voice was calm, flat. Can I have copies of everything? Of course. Patricia looked at Maya, then at me. I am so sorry this happened. If you need anything else, please call. We left. Maya held my hand the entire walk to the car. She did not talk. I did not push. We got in the car. I started driving. Halfway home, she finally spoke. Why did they leave me, Mom? I glanced at her in the rearview mirror. She was looking out the window, face reflected in the glass. I do not know, baby. Grandma counted. She looked right at me. She said my name. I know. Everyone raised their hands. Even Aunt Rachel. Even Uncle Brad. Even Sophia and Dylan. I know. Was it because I am bad? I pulled over. Right there on I-4, I pulled onto the shoulder, put the car in park, got out, opened the back door, and climbed into the seat next to her. I pulled her into my lap. She was 8 years old, too big for this, but she folded into me like she was tiny again. "You are not bad," I said into her hair. "You are perfect. You are smart and kind and thoughtful, and you do not deserve any of this. What they did was cruel. It was wrong. It was unforgivable. And I promise you, I will make sure they understand that." She cried. Big, heaving sobs. I held her. I did not cry. I did not have tears. I had something else. Something colder. Something sharper. We got home at 1 in the morning. I put Maya to bed. I sat with her until she fell asleep. Then I went downstairs, made coffee, and opened my laptop. My phone had 47 missed calls. 23 from Mom. 11 from Dad. 9 from Rachel. 4 from Brad. The rest from various relatives. I had 31 text messages. I did not read them. I did not listen to the voicemails. I blocked every single number. I opened my email. Stephen had already sent me drafts. Restraining order petition. Cease and desist letters. Asset seizure notice. He worked fast. I reviewed everything, made notes, sent it back. Then I started documenting. I had years of records. Venmo transactions showing money I had loaned and never gotten back. Text messages asking for help. Bank statements showing deposits I had made into their accounts. I organized it all into a spreadsheet. Dates, amounts, purposes, repayment status. It came to $173,412 over 9 years. I attached the airport incident report. I attached the photo Rachel had sent me. I attached screenshots of their text messages from that night, the ones I did not read but saved as evidence. I attached statements from Patricia and the airline confirming there was no overbooking issue. I compiled it all into a file. I sent it to Stephen. Subject line, evidence for civil suit. At 4 in the morning, my doorbell rang. I looked at the camera. Mom and Dad. Standing on my porch. Mom was still in her Miami outfit. Linen pants and a bright pink blouse. Dad was in shorts and a polo. They looked exhausted. Panicked. I did not open the door. Mom rang the bell again. She knocked. She called through the door. "Jenny, please. We need to talk." "Open the door." I turned off the camera and went upstairs. I checked on Maya. Still asleep. I went to my room and closed the door. They stayed for 40 minutes. Ringing the bell. Knocking. Calling my name. Eventually, they left. The texts started coming through on my work phone. They did not have that number. Someone gave it to them. Rachel, probably. She would have it from years ago when we coordinated family stuff. "Mom, you are being ridiculous. We were trying to do what was best." "Dad, the flight was overbooked. We had to make a choice." "You are overreacting." "Rachel, you are ruining the entire wedding. Everyone is talking about you. You are so selfish." I did not respond. I forwarded the messages to Stephen. In Miami, the wedding happened without us. Derek got married. Everyone danced and drank and celebrated. And apparently, everyone also talked. Because by Sunday afternoon, the narrative had formed. I was the problem. I was too sensitive. I was using Maya as a pawn. I was destroying the family over a simple misunderstanding. My phone would not stop buzzing. Cousins, aunts, uncles, people I had not talked to in years, suddenly very concerned about family unity. "You need to forgive them. They were just trying to manage a difficult situation." "You are being dramatic." On Monday morning, Stephen filed the restraining order. Temporary order granted immediately. My parents, Rachel, Brad, and their children were not allowed within 500 feet of me or Maya. They were served Monday afternoon. Tuesday morning, the towing company delivered the car. Rachel's car. The one I co-owned. I donated it to a domestic violence charity. They came and picked it up Tuesday afternoon. Tuesday evening, my parents' bank called me. Apparently, removing myself as co-signer on their mortgage triggered a review. Their loan was underwater. They owed more than the house was worth. Without me on the title, the bank wanted them to refinance or pay the difference. They had 30 days. Wednesday, my parents filed a motion to dismiss the restraining order. The hearing was scheduled for the following Tuesday. Stephen told me not to worry. We had documentation. We had witness statements. We had the airport incident report. We would win. Thursday, Rachel showed up at my office. Security called me. I told them to remove her. She left screaming about how I was a vindictive bitch. Someone filmed it. It went semi-viral on local Facebook groups. The narrative started shifting. People were asking questions. What happened in Orlando? Why was the kid left behind? What kind of family does that? Friday, I got an email from Derek, the cousin who got married. He apologized. He said he had no idea what happened until after the ceremony. He said if he had known, he would have cancelled everything. He said what they did was unforgivable. He said he was not speaking to them anymore. His email opened the floodgates. Other relatives reached out. Some apologized. Some asked for my side of the story. Some said they always knew my mom favored Rachel but did not realize how bad it was. The family was fracturing. Fast. Sides were forming. Group chats were imploding. People were unfriending each other on Facebook. My Aunt Susan stopped speaking to my mom. My Uncle Keith called my dad and told him he was a coward. On Saturday, I took Maya to the beach. Not Miami. Just Jack's Beach. We spent the day in the sand. She built a castle. I took photos. She smiled. A real smile. Not the careful, anxious smile she used to give my parents. A genuine, 8-year-old smile. I like it when it is just us, she said, sticking a shell into the castle tower. Me too, baby. Are Grandma and Grandpa going to be mad forever? Probably. Good. She looked at me. Is that bad? That I think it is good. No. It is not bad. You get to feel however you feel. I do not miss them. That is okay. She nodded and went back to her castle. She hummed while she worked. I could not remember the last time I heard her hum. The restraining order hearing was Tuesday at 10 in the morning. I wore a navy suit. Maya stayed home with a babysitter. Stephen met me at the courthouse. My parents were there. Rachel was there. They had an attorney. A man in a cheap suit who looked like he did not want to be there. The hearing lasted 43 minutes. Stephen presented our evidence. The airport report. The financial records. The text messages. The photo. He called Patricia as a witness. She testified via phone. She described finding Maya alone, scared, abandoned. Their attorney argued that it was a misunderstanding. That the flight was overbooked. That they tried to call me but could not reach me. That they thought Maya would be fine because I was coming. The judge looked at them. She was in her 60s, gray hair, no-nonsense expression. The airline confirmed there was no overbooking issue. Your client's daughter was left alone for over 40 minutes with no supervision and no notification to airport staff. Can you explain that? Their attorney stammered. He could not. The judge ruled in our favor. Restraining order upheld for 6 months. At the end of 6 months, we would revisit. If there was any violation, any attempt to contact us, any harassment, the order would extend to 1 year. My mother stood up. This is insane. She is my granddaughter. The judge looked at her. You left your 8-year-old granddaughter alone in an airport terminal and flew to another state. You are lucky Ms. Walsh is only seeking a restraining order and not pressing criminal charges. Sit down. Mom sat. We left. Stephen walked me to my car. That went better than expected. What happens now? Now you live your life. They stay away. If they violate the order, call me immediately. In the meantime, I am still working on the civil suit. The financial damages. I think we have a strong case. Good. I drove home. Maya was in the living room, watching a movie. How did it go? We won. She nodded. Okay. Then, after a pause, do I have to see them again? Not unless you want to. I do not want to. Then you do not have to. She turned back to the movie. I sat next to her. She leaned against me. We watched cartoons. Over the next 3 weeks, things got worse for them. My parents tried to refinance their mortgage. They were denied. They tried to sell the house. The market was bad. They could not get what they owed. They started missing payments. The bank started foreclosure proceedings. Rachel and Brad were struggling. Without the car, Rachel could not get to work. She lost her job. Brad's sales commissions dropped. They started fighting. Loud, ugly fights that their neighbors complained about. My phone kept ringing from numbers I did not recognize. I did not answer. The voicemails were all the same. Begging. Pleading. Accusing. You are destroying us. This is cruel. We made a mistake. Please, Jenny, please. I did not respond. In November, 5 months after the airport incident, I got a letter. From Mom. Handwritten. 6 pages. She apologized. She said she was wrong. She said she let her favoritism get out of control. She said she did not realize how much she hurt Maya. She said she wanted to make it right. She said they were losing the house. She said they needed help. She said I was the only one who could save them. I read the letter once. Then I put it in a folder with all the other documentation. Evidence. I did not respond. The foreclosure finalized in December. They had to move out by January 15th. They moved in with Rachel. All 4 of them in Rachel and Brad's 3-bedroom house. It did not go well. Rachel called me crying 2 weeks later. They are driving me insane. Mom criticizes everything I do. Dad just sits in the garage all day. They are fighting constantly. Please. Jenny. Please help. I hung up. In March, Rachel and Brad separated. He moved out. She filed for divorce. She blamed my parents. They blamed her. Everyone was miserable. And I was fine. More than fine. Maya and I were thriving. She joined a new gymnastics team. Made new friends. Her teacher said she had come out of her shell, was participating more in class, seemed happier. I got promoted. Senior Director of Tax Strategy. Corner office. 23% raise. I took Maya to Disney World. Just the 2 of us. We stayed at a nice hotel, ate overpriced food, rode every ride she wanted. She was glowing. One night, waiting in line for Space Mountain, she looked up at me. I am glad they left me. I blinked. What? At the airport. I am glad they left me. Because now I do not have to pretend anymore. Pretend what? That they liked me. That I could make them like me if I was good enough. My throat closed. Baby. It is okay, Mom. I am not sad. I am relieved. She was 9 by then. 9 years old and already understanding things I had taken 34 years to learn. I am proud of you, I said. She smiled. I know. We rode Space Mountain 3 times in a row. Fast forward 2 years. Maya is 10 now. She does not ask about my parents. She does not ask about Rachel or Sophia or Dylan. She has her own life. Her own friends. Her own happiness that has nothing to do with them. My parents are still living with Rachel. The divorce finalized. Brad remarried. Sophia and Dylan visit him every other weekend. My parents are broke. They tried to sue me for financial support. Stephen got it dismissed. They send cards sometimes. Birthday cards for Maya. Christmas cards. I do not open them. I put them in the folder. Evidence. Last month, I ran into my mom at the grocery store. She looked old. Tired. She saw me and froze. I kept walking. She called my name. I did not turn around. That night, she texted from yet another new number. I am sorry. I am so sorry. Please. I just want to see her. Just once. Please, Jenny. I blocked the number. Do I feel guilty? Sometimes. In the moments late at night when I cannot sleep, when I think about the woman who raised me, who taught me to tie my shoes and read and ride a bike. The woman who used to make me chocolate chip pancakes on Sunday mornings. But then I remember Maya. Standing in an airport terminal. Alone. Surrounded by strangers. Watching 18 people raise their hands to abandon her. I remember the sound of her voice on the phone. I thought you knew. I thought you told them to leave me. And the guilt evaporates. You do not get to traumatize a child and then demand forgiveness because you are family. You do not get to play favorites for years, to exclude and dismiss and belittle, and then act shocked when there are consequences. You do not get to vote to abandon an 8-year-old and then cry about how unfair it is that she does not want to see you anymore. I chose my daughter. I will choose her every single time. And if that makes me cruel, if that makes me vindictive, if that makes me the bad guy in their story, I am okay with that. Because in Maya's story, I am the mother who showed up, who drove 3 hours in the dark to get her, who made sure she knew she was worth protecting. That is the only story that matters. So, what do you think? Did I go too far, or just far enough? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want more stories about mothers who chose their children over toxic families, do not forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon. I've got 2 more stories queued up for you, both about the moment we realize protecting our kids means walking away from the people who are supposed to love them. Click on whichever one calls to you. Until next time, remember, family is about who shows up, not who shows up in your DNA.